I have played Wild Horse Islands on my channel quite a few times, just like a small handful of times, and I have never really found myself enjoying it, but I see so many people who love this Roblox game. Every single time I make a video on Roblox, people are like, Wild Horse Islands is my favorite horse game on there, so I really want to love this game for you guys. So I decided to sit down and play this game until I fell in love with it, for real, whether it took an hour, whether it took 10. I'm not entirely sure why I haven't fully enjoyed Wild Horse Islands. I think I've just found it hard to understand my purpose, where the enjoyment comes from. What the heck do I even start doing? So I started by watching an Abigail Pinehaven video about what to do when you're getting started on Wild Horse Islands. It only felt fitting. So with that little bit of knowledge under my belt, I went into the game. In the first hour, we started and my game still has no sound. I think I fixed it previously, but like I literally could not figure out why my game has no sound. If you know, let me know why Roblox is so silent, because it was so awkward and I just ended up playing my own music, but I just felt like it lacked a little bit of vibes. One thing that the Abigail Pinehaven video talked about was farming, and also that I needed to get a better harvester. That was like the two things that I like wrote down as notes from the video, but I was going with it. I like farming. I was gonna farm. So I went and figured out how to plant some wheat seeds. I also went back to the mainland, and for some reason the mainland looked kind of different. I don't know, did they add more trees or something? I then proceeded to spend all of my money on seeds, which was probably not my smartest idea, as I will find out later. And I went back to my island to plant some trees, and I think I planted the apple trees, and it took 9 hours. 9 hours. Luckily they do grow when you're like offline, so if I just like put them in before I go to bed, wake up in the morning, I got some apple trees. I also realized I bought way too many seeds for even the planter boxes that I had, and I was starting to wonder whether I had made a mistake by putting all my eggs into farming. I did then find a second farming box, so all was not lost. But yeah, after I finished farming, I didn't know what to do, because as I said, all I was farming. That was my goal and I did it. And yeah, anyways, I decided to then go back and do some quests. I had learned that quests, although you do not have to do them, they can get you a little bit of money, and they are kind of like a storyline. So I was like, I'll do some quests. But on my way to do the quest, I got distracted collecting materials. I have spoken a lot before about the fact that I like fishing in Minecraft. I really love the Star Stable Hollow Woods, collecting fireflies. I don't even have to be working towards something. There is just something inside of me that when I'm told to collect something, I must collect it all. And I find that enjoyable, even if I have no purpose. Like, I didn't even know why I was collecting materials. I just knew that also Abby did mention in her video, collect materials. So I was collecting materials. I then collected a bunch of materials and I was like, right, that's it. Let's go do the quest. But then everything reset. So all the materials are back again. And my brain was like, oh, materials. I have to collect even more. So I went ahead and collected more materials. Now at this point, granted, I had not done a lot, but I wanted to give up in the first half hour. Like, I was really struggling to stay online. I just wanted to log off and go do something else, but I really wanted to enjoy this game like you all do. I wanted to find out, why do people like this game? So I stayed online, and it was possibly the best decision I ever made. I'm just kidding. I mean, maybe. I proceeded to stop collecting, because maybe collecting materials and that being the only thing I was doing, maybe that's why I wanted to give up. So I went to the quest, but I ended up going to the wrong quest, and he got mad at me because I realized, oh, I still need to go find that toolbox. And we got there in the end, and someone actually said hi to me. I don't know if they recognized me or whether they were just like a friendly person. That sounds so like narcissistic to me. Like, I hate that. How awkward would it be for me to just be like, oh, you know me from YouTube, and they're like, what? Anyways, I did kind of leave them because I wasn't sure where they asked to be friends, and I was like, yeah, of course, like, sure. And then I didn't know what to do, so I continued collecting materials, and they just kind of left, so then I kind of left anyways. I went ahead and finished the quest. I also had very quickly realized that I should not have bought seeds. I was finding a lot of them in my resource collecting, so that was mistake number 1 of many in this video. The next part of the quest was to go find 5 coconuts, and I knew that I had found coconuts on the beach. Coconuts come from palm trees, and of course palm trees are on the beach. So yeah, and on my way to the beach, I saw a bunch of horses and even like some foals and stuff, and it was really cute. I had no idea what this was at the time. I think it's like some sort of like wild horse like event or something. I have literally no idea. I do check it out at the end of the video, but I'm still very confused about it. But there was a bunch of horses and some foals, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I then went ahead to the beach and I found all the coconuts. I actually quite like this quest because it really gives you an objective to ride around the island and explore and learn more about the materials and the areas. Like as my brain process was like, okay, coconuts, let's go to the beach. I hadn't really explored the beach, so I went down to the beach. I found coconuts, but I also found a bunch of other materials and other areas that I hadn't visited, and it just felt like I was slowly starting to understand more about the area of Wild Horse Islands. I found it very hard to stop collecting materials, but before I went back to, I think his name's Toby, I also remembered that Abby had told me to buy a new harvester, so I went and I bought the best harvester that I could at this little shop. I also finally figured out how to water my horse and like take care of my horse. I've been trying to figure this out. I'm just like really silly. The entire time in this video, in my previous videos, I was always like, my horse wants water, but I don't know how to do that. I figured it out. I also wanted horse tack, and it was too expensive in the shops that I had seen, but we'll get back to horse tack later. I also leveled up and I unlocked the forest island. I had yet to explore anywhere other than the mainland and my own home island, so that was definitely something that I wanted to get into later on. I then remembered the quest and I had gotten distracted. I get distracted very easily, so I went back to Toby with the coconuts. I was also found a second time by you guys, and one of you guys taught me how to rear. Thank you. I was learning so much in the first hour, and shortly after this, I continued the quest and I actually looked at the time and I was kind of shocked that another 20 minutes had gone by. I was starting to get a little bit engrossed, but like not too much. Like don't get too far, you guys. I was not in love with this game yet, but I did get a fishing rod, so I tried that out. I started fishing. It wasn't super interactive, so it's not like Minecraft fishing where you really do anything, or even Stardew fishing. Love Stardew fishing, but I got a fish, and that was the only time I fished, but maybe another time. We then went into the second hour and Toby wanted even more coconuts, but I was kind of done. So I decided to take a break back on my island to check on the farms. I did actually collect, I think it was like carrots or something, one of the ones that are like 40 minutes. I played for about 10 minutes into the second hour, but I was actually getting a headache because I'd been on the computer all day filming other videos, doing a bunch of other stuff, and I was like, I need to get off the computer. I do not feel good. So I got off the computer and I came back the next day, but I was actually beginning to find myself beginning to enjoy Wild Horse Islands, and I was kind of looking forward to coming back the next day to collect more materials and learning even more about the game. So hey, that's a little bit of progress. I've not felt like that before. On the second day, I went ahead and continue collecting resources on my way to Toby. I also fed my horse for the first time. I learned how to water. Now I'm learning how to feed. Now it came to a quest where Toby's grandfather was stuck in a mine behind the mountain, and I couldn't find it at first, and I knew I had seen a mine somewhere it was like a little lake area with like big rocks that I had tried to earlier break down, but I couldn't, and I was like, okay, whatever. But I didn't know where it was, and I was kind of getting a bit sick of like riding around, so I gave up on the quest for now and decided to continue on some of my other goals, which was to spend all of my money on rope. I didn't want to spend all my money on rope, but I did want to train a bunch of horses. So I spent all my money on rope to make a bunch of lassos, and I also sold a few more materials, so we weren't completely broke. I sold some like stone and stuff because I was like, I get a lot of stone. Maybe I can sell some of that stuff for money. I don't know. We'll get to the whole money thing. Someone also private chatted me, but I had no idea how to do that, so I couldn't respond to them yet. So I'm very sorry if that was you. Now, I wanted to train horses, as I said, and I had no idea what the good horses were, what horses I should train. I saw that there was a new Mawari breed, and apparently Arabians are also rare, so I learnt that Arabians and Mawaris are probably a rare breed. I did try looking around and clicking a bunch of buttons to see if I could figure out if there was like a list which told me the rarity of horses, but I couldn't really. I feel like maybe that could be, maybe I'm just missing it, but I feel like that could be useful to learn more about the horses and how rare they are, just to, but I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments, and maybe I am missing it in the game, but I just didn't know what to do. I went ahead and found a Mawari in the marketplace so that I could see the model of the horse that I was looking for, but then I did realize that when you hover over a wild horse, you can see the breed anyways. But I decided to travel to a new island for the first time and kind of tick 2 things off my bucket list, travel to a new island, and maybe there'll be more horses there that we haven't seen on the mainland. I also didn't know if I should get horses that I wanted to keep, because if I keep rare horses, I'm never going to sell them. So then how am I making my money back? So should I just catch random horses so that I'm making a profit? Because I literally never have money throughout this entire video, because I don't want to sell horses. I always make these Wild Horse Island videos and you guys are like, oh my gosh, that horse is now rare because they've updated that model or something. Or they're like, oh my gosh, you just got a good horse. Don't sell that horse. So I'm scared to sell horses. So I'm not selling horses, which also means I'm not making money. Anyways, I did check in the Larry store to see if he had different things on this island. He had different saddle blankets, but I still couldn't afford them. And at this point, I had not explored the crafting menu. I had only crafted lassos. For some reason, I just not looked at anything else. So we'll get to more tack later. But yeah, he didn't have much different stuff and I just couldn't afford anything anyways. And on this... oh yeah, we went to the ice island, the little snowman island, I don't know, and I saw just a lot of more paint and quarter horses, which are on the mainland anyways, and I mined our first bit of bronze ore, and I found a random rock and got some gold from it. I was having fun, but I still didn't know what to do. I don't know the purpose of I wanted horses, but I didn't know what to do. I then realized maybe I could focus on catching every breed and coat of horse, because I could see what horses and horse coats I had caught. So I was like, maybe I should just work towards getting 100% and owning every single type of horse. I don't know. So then that's what I decided to do. But then I saw more of you guys, and apparently you can gift stuff in this game, and two of you guys, you gifted me a horse. What the heck? I don't want you guys to give me stuff that you can't give me. I just want you to know that I appreciate your gifts so much, and I feel so bad not being able to give stuff back to you guys. So definitely know, if I'm ever a pro in this game, I'm going to make it my mission to be able to give back to you guys. But I made sure to lock the horses that you gave me so that I can never sell them. I'm not going to sell your horses that you guys gift me. I'm going to treasure all of your gifts. But you guys gave me a Percheron foal and also an Arabian horse. And the Arabian was already called a Dixie, so I decided to keep the name. But an Arabian horse? Didn't I just learn that they were rare? I don't know, but thank you. And you guys also were the ones to teach me about crafting tack. I could not believe when I found this out that I had not explored the crafting menu more until now. I felt so bad saying goodbye, but I did want to continue playing the game. So I went ahead and tamed myself a chestnut pinto to continue my collection of horses. I also apparently found a secret item, it told me in the chat, a personality aura. No idea what they do. I think it changes the personality of your horse. I don't know how I found it or whatever, but I did. I then decided to try and focus, I say try because I get distracted, to focus on crafting tack. So I spent all of my money on leather and rope to craft a black tin bridle. I know it's not the best of the best, but you gotta start somewhere. But then I needed even more leather and tin ore for a saddle, and I did not really have a lot of materials for colored saddle pads either, and I had no money to buy anything, so I went home for more farming. I also had the little Percheron foal follow behind me because I wanted to spend time with the foal. I really wanted to be able to ride a horse and have the foal follow me, but I don't think that's something you can do, so that's a little bit sad. Anyways, I went ahead and collected my farming materials and planted even more seeds, and I also found out how to expand the farm, but I had no money, so I couldn't do that yet either. I also learned how to hoof pick a horse. I hoof picked the horse for the first time. We're now moving into the 3rd hour. After spending some time on my home island, I decided to explore the other island that we had unlocked, which was the Forest Island. I'm pretty sure that's all the islands I have unlocked right now. And I went ahead and found some new materials that I had not mined yet, such as silver and iron. I also went ahead and tamed a bay paint horse and a black paint horse. My little paint horse collection was coming together, and I am not mad because I love paint horses. I also caught a bay blanket Appaloosa as well. I collected many more materials, and I was so busy catching horses, collecting materials, that I forgot my mission about the tack. But we did find some fabric, so we were one small step closer to more tack. I also met another one of you, and you gifted me another free horse, guys. Stop. Stop. But on this new horse, I found the emote menu for horses. Game changing. You can dance, you can sit down. Oh my gosh. And this person, I did not write down usernames in my notes. I'm very sorry. But you showed me a bunch of pink horses, and they were kind of cute. I think they're from the Valentine's Day event. And at this moment, I wrote down in my notes, okay, I think I happened. It happened. I get the hype. I was getting the hype. Did I love Wild Horse Islands? Well, I had to say goodbye. I find it so hard saying goodbye once again. But as I rode away, I figured out whispering, so I could whisper back to that person. And I whispered to someone. But I headed back to the mainland because I saw a message saying that a cave was open, and I was like, maybe this is the cave that the grandpa was in. Grandpa was not there. So I went over to the wild horse herd that we saw at the start with all of the foals and horses. I couldn't see breeds, and I had no idea if I was stealing from the other person, but I tamed a horse, and I think I got 2 horses, and I think that they were new horses that I don't have yet. I don't really know. I'm still very confused about that, so let me know what wild horse herds are about. I then went on the hunt for leather because I was not forgetting about tack. And I did find quite a bit of fabric, no leather. And I also found that little cave thing that I was talking about. And I found Toby's grandfather. But after speaking to Toby's grandfather, I was done for quests for this video. I did not feel like riding around town. So Toby's grandfather's just going to be stuck there for a while. And I finally found my first piece of, not my first, but one piece of leather. One piece of leather. I went ahead and found I just decided to catch another horse, and it was a grey quarter horse. I didn't have a grey quarter horse, so it was adding to my quarter horse collection. I also had enough fabric to make a dark blue saddle blanket. It's not my favorite color, but it was one of the only colors that I could make that wasn't lime green. I don't know. I then sold a bunch of materials so that I had enough money to buy some more leather so that I could make a saddle. And I finally had a somewhat complete tack set. I would have liked to buy polo or make polo wraps, but I was not sold on this blue color yet, especially since my character just looks so noob. I think that's one thing that I really struggle with, is the fact that my character looks so bad. And is everyone just... I don't think I can make my character look better without buying Robux. Is everyone spending Robux just to make their character look nicer? I don't know. But at this point, I had enough Roblox for this video. I felt like it had happened. I get the hype of Roblox. I had kind of actually really genuinely enjoyed playing Wild Horse Island for the first time. And this is saying something because I know that there's still so many other things that I have not touched about in this game. I've not caught a bunch of different breeds of horses. I have not expanded my farm. I haven't checked out breeding. I have not checked out any of the other islands because I haven't unlocked them. And that's definitely something that I want to do in the future. I think one thing that I struggle with is I play a lot of different games. So it's kind of like if I'm not making a video, it's hard for me to actually play horse games. And I play so many different types on my channel that sometimes I do wonder if I'm playing too much. If I do a Red Dead video, Red Dead horse videos are very different to Roblox. I feel like there might be different demographics. even though they're still horse games, and I play both of them in a PG friendly way because Red Dead is 18 plus. So it's all very like, I don't know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know tips and tricks for Wild Horse Islands and whether you want to see more Roblox Horse videos, because it happened. I fell in love with Wild Horse Island. I get the hype. I get the hype. I am part of the gang. Let's go. If you did enjoy this video, then you can check out some of my other Roblox horse game videos on the screen right now. You're probably going to hear me say that I do not get the hype of Wild Horse Islands, but don't worry, because you guys have just watched this video and you know that I get it now. So you can go laugh at me previously saying who can play this game, because apparently I can now play this game. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all later. Bye!